April 5th, 1968, the Liberalizing Action Program of the Communist Party of Czechoslovakia was published. This was Dubček's Socialism with a Human Face. It called for a socialist democracy where the Communist Party would have to compete with other opposition parties for political power. Among other things, there were also rights that were asked for or advocated for in the document. Among these were the freedom of press, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, and freedom of association. These would allow a people that was already economically depressed to access a collective voice to try and change their situation, either through government or other means. Among other avenues also explored in the document was the desire to abolish the glass ceiling for non-party members. Evidently, there was discrimination against non-party members, whereby they couldn't achieve any significant political power, which was seen as an obstacle to progress here. Another aspect of the action program was to try to decentralize power and to try to put some daylight between the party at large and the Czechoslovakian government. In this way, the Czechoslovakian people could govern themselves without being truly this kind of satellite state that they were of Russia. This was important because among these other changes was the attempt to give the Slovak people a greater representation, equal or on par with the Czech representation, which would help with the ethnic divide between the two. And this is obviously important in a country called Czechoslovakia, that the Czechs and the Slovaks be okay with each other. Another wing of this action program was the economic side. There were economic critiques of the previous system that this document was trying to solve. One of them was called protectionism, which was an accusation of the old system. The accusation was that the market criteria were fluid. So if you had an economy that was doing poorly, but you adjusted your market criteria, then you could perceive a bad economy as doing well. And this would be a problem because things would continue to deteriorate even if you were looking, because you wouldn't see it. This was also exacerbated by the surcharges on foreign trade, which generated revenue and also made it hard to tell where all of the hurts in the economy were happening, because these made up for some of the deficits in some of these ailing parts of the economy. Overall, it just made things difficult to perceive, and it sustained those difficulties. It also loosened control over businesses facing difficult markets. This was so that businesses could act more on the fly, and they could act with some fluidity so that the market, when it changed, the business could be in step with that. Another aspect of this was concentrating aid on the agricultural side of the economy, trying to get lower prices for food and also providing aid for the producers so that they could help provide a more sure yield and give a kind of a steady increase to the general economy overall.